so I wanted to do a video on this, kind of talk about my, what I think about it. You do get a bit of a manual, a leaflet here. It gives you some information on it. This is a 35,000 RPM nail drill, and it works really well. Provides a little information on it, whatnot. You do get some standard drill bits with it, and 6 sanding bands. These are, they feel like medium grit, and then a couple of coarse grit. And then you've got your mandrel for your sanding bands, and then some different drill bits. These are just your standard metal. They work fine, though my preference is not these. Mainly you would use this and this, and then the mandrel bit for my own preferences, and I have others. So everybody has their own preference, but that's what comes with this. Now, I left the plastic on this to show it what it looks like when it comes in the package. I've got it down to 0, so I'm going to have your locking chuck on this. This is mine. But it comes with your, I can't remember the name of this thing. It, for all intents and purposes, is a placeholder. You should keep this, or at least another drill bit in it, to keep any dust from getting down into the motor. Get my dust off of there where I've been using it. But even if you have it closed and it's on there, I'm going to turn this off before I accidentally turn it on. If you have this closed, you can see it's still open. That's just open a little more where it's not gripping the drill bit. But I suggest always keeping this in there when you're not using it. This right here was on here too, but that was just for the box to keep that from stabbing into the plastic that it came in. That's all that is. That's not that big a deal. I didn't have that locked, that's why it came out like that. But that is a nice touch to keep that, because I've used and reviewed a lot of nail drills, and this is I think one other might have had one on it, but they typically don't come in it, and these things will stab through the container and stuff that they come in, like to the sides here and stuff. But anyways, that's what that is. It's nothing to keep if you're wondering. This thing works really good. It doesn't have any drag. Doesn't slow down when you're putting the pressure to it. It works really well. Again, here's your locking chuck. You'll hear a click. You click it into the unlock position, and you'll feel that click back over, and it just kind of pops back into its place when you lock it back. But you'll feel when it clicks into the unlock position. Always have it turned off whenever you're going to change this. That's why I went ahead and turned that off. So don't do what I was doing there. I always have it turned off to prevent any, you can hurt yourself when you're changing this. And you accidentally have it, and you accidentally turn it up, or something happens. You never know. Always have it on off whenever you're going to change your stuff. Now to this cord here, this is rechargeable. And it did come almost fully charged when I got it. Here's your on and off. This is where you plug this in. Unfortunately, it only comes with a 3-foot charging cord, or electrical cord, whatever you want, your adapter cord. Even though this is rechargeable, this really needs to be longer. You're going to have to be right next to your outlet to charge it. Or use it while it's plugged up, however you want to do it. So I don't like that. It needs to be at least a 5-foot cord. I can barely have it on the edge of my my table here if I need to charge it. So that's very inconvenient. Now, while it does work really well, it works really well. I'll go ahead and start to show you that. So you do have to turn this on here, and when you're not using it, turn that off. Even though if you turn it, have it down here and you don't have it using it, always turn it off when you're not using it, so you're not it can affect your battery. Now that's the on position, and you still have to turn it on. I'm sorry, you have to hold it down to turn it on. So even if you have this off here, hold it down until it cuts off. When you're not using it, you need to turn that off. It helps maintain your battery over its lifetime. So yeah, like I said, I've used a lot of nail drills. So yeah, always keep that turned off when you're not using it. Now, like I said, hold it down to turn it on, hold it down to turn it off, and it's got 3 bars now. It goes up to 4, I think it was. I can't remember, but it's got 3 bars now. Now, this is your pause button. Now, right there means it's paused. It's not paused now, but I've got it on 0. I haven't turned it up. And then you just turn it here. It has almost very little vibration. It doesn't have any, it's very low noise, doesn't get hot, it works really well. It has a forward and reverse right here. Now, I suggest always turning this down to 0 before you switch between forward and reverse. Now, what that does is helps maintain your motor throughout the life. It'll help prolong that lifetime. It's hard on the motor switching it back and forth between while it's going. So if you have it at 10 or 15 RPM, KRPMs, or RPMs is 1,000. If you have it at 10 or 15 and then you switch it between forward and reverse, it'll do it, and it won't tear it up. But if you do that, every time you're using it, it's gonna lessen the lifetime on the motor itself. So it is hard on the motor. So I always turn that to 0 before you switch between forward and reverse. And you can see your little R there, and then it's back on forward. Now 35 RPMs. It'll still turn, but it doesn't go past 35, so you can't go any higher. Like I said, it's real quiet. Almost no vibrations, very little vibration in it. It hadn't got hot on me. I've used it several times now. But yeah, and these little holes right here, you don't have to worry about that when you're using it, because even if you cover one up, it's not going to matter. That's to help any heat dissipation and come out on it. That's what that is. So even if you use it and you cover 1 or 2 up, it's not going to hurt. I think there's 3. Yeah, 3 holes. So you don't have to worry about that. But don't sit there and hold that over. It'll mess with it. It can mess it up. But that helps, the heat dissipate out of there. Keep it from overheating. Like I said, it works really well. Again, I always, advise going to 0 when you're switching between. No difference between this either. Works really well. And if you have it up somewhere, you can pause it. And then, go on about your business, come back, unpause it, goes from there. I don't know, I kind of, even though, and you can do, what you want with it, but even during pausing, I don't know, I don't like to mess with the motor, but it does have pause. But there you go. Works well. My only issue with it, I'm going to go ahead and turn it back off. Now, I left it like this so I could show it. It does have paper on it. That's just to kind of protect the, you know, the gemstones. It's very pretty. But the corners aren't on there very well. What these are sheets with adhesive on it, and the rhinestones are stuck to it. So these aren't individual rhinestones placed on there. It's like a sheet of rhinestones. And you can see where they pieced it together here. You can see where the sheet of rhinestones are pieced together. It's actually sticking up over right there, so it's not pieced together really well there. The pink part here on mine is kind of bad. You can see where it's somebody mentioned in reviews. I went to see what anybody else, if anybody else had issues with it. One person mentioned that the stickiness is normal. It is not. They mentioned that the stickiness was coming from this. It's not. While this is slightly tacky for it to stick to the rhinestones, they're not sticky. The rhinestones aren't sticky. This is sticky, and it's because, let me get a tweezers here and see if I can go in on that a little bit. Now this isn't covered up, the pink part. You can see where this is no longer shiny. It's where somebody's been pressing on it. See, this is adhesive. It's just the way it's made. It's a sheet of adhesive. You can see right there where it's not stuck. It won't stick for some reason. But you can see the adhesive underneath the pink rhinestones there. I can push it down and it'll come back up in a few minutes. So that won't stick down. It's like this too, and it just looks like somebody pressed the heck out of it. But you can feel the adhesive where they've pressed down and mashed the rhinestones further down into the adhesive. I don't know if these rhinestones here are messed up, but they don't shine anymore. They don't look all that good either. You can see some of them, that one there looks kind of like it's kind of jagged or broken or something. But if you feel any stickiness, it's from this adhesive right here. That is normal, but it's not coming from this plastic, which is sticky. It comes right off, and this isn't sticky. Now, if they've pressed it down in there too far, you can see the adhesive there is still kind of shiny looking. My tweezers are sticking to it. It is sticky in between them, but you're not going to feel it because they're not pressed down too far. They're sticking up above the adhesive. Whereas where they've pressed this down, they've pushed those stones way down into the adhesive, so the adhesive has gotten on the rhinestones themselves, and they're not sticking very well. So that wasn't placed very, very well. This one here won't go down. It stays up all the time. I can press it down, and it'll just pop back up where it's at. It won't stay down in there. So, yeah, that part I'm a little disappointed, you know, because they just didn't take the time to do quite as right. And some of my sticky stuff's not even there, like this part. You can see the difference there. Like this, where the light's shining down onto this and making some of that part of it yellowy. It's showing the green part of the AB rhinestones. You can see there where part of it's not even there. So there's no sticky there. But if you feel any stickiness, it's from that adhesive that's down in that. And that doesn't go away or dry over time. That's just the way it's made. So my issue with it, you know, is that that weren't put on properly. Some of it's overlapping. Not the paper. The rhinestones are overlapping right there. Let me get that back up. Now you can see where it's overlapping there. So they didn't quite do it right. And you can see where it's been pieced together here too. It's not put on there right. It's overlapping up here, and it's not in all the way to the joint there. And the sticky stuff is sticking up. The adhesive that's underneath the rhinestones is just sticking up there, so that's why that's sticky, because you can feel it. This one's not covered, so you can see the rhinestones here really well. Like these have plastic, this doesn't. So when you get it, that's supposed to come off. I just wanted to show it. Oh, and this is where your charging cord goes to. And while you're using this, that's lighting up because there's electricity stored in the battery here. So whenever you plug this into your outlet and you plug it in here, it'll light up. But it's lighting up because of the electricity here. You can use this to use a nail dust collector, or charge your phone on it. But these are here for uses to plug other things up with. And it kind of gives you information there on what everything is, just like I told you there. Your power switch, your adapter jack, which is this right here to plug this up to charge. And then you've got a couple of USB ports. Yeah, they're at number 3, which I was talking about, where you can plug a phone, something up, laptop, whatever, and use it off the battery that's in this. So, yeah. Now this does have little silicone-y things there, and they work well. I have silicone mats, so it doesn't matter for mine anyways, but this is there to keep it from sliding around or anything, which it doesn't vibrate or anything, so it's not going to go anywhere. But those are nice to have, little silicone pieces there. But aside from the messed up things, this is really nice. I don't know if it's mine or others that got messed up. I know some people mentioned something about the stickiness after they pulled this off, but the stickiness is not from the paper itself, the plastic itself. It's from the adhesive underneath. So if you're feeling any stickiness, like I mentioned here on these corners where they mashed the heck out of it and pressed them down in there, and that looks terrible. The problem is, even if you start trying to wash, if that might be glue, and I don't think it is, because it's not sticky. I can feel the glue because it's all the way up to the the top edges of them. But the rhinestones themselves don't feel sticky, so I think those are damaged from something coming into contact with them and getting the shine rubbed off. Like these are shiny here, you can see. The tops of them have their shine, but these don't. And this is malleable. It's not going to go anywhere though. It's just a sheet of sticker. A sticker sheet, essentially. But, yeah. Now this will... I got that all wrapped up in there. This is nice and stretchy. It will go a long ways. This goes in here. Now, obviously, it's not going to go all the way down in there like it would if you had nothing in there and locked it. It sits in there more evenly like that. Now, if you don't keep it on your desk, I'm sure it would probably be okay with that, but I suggest always having that. What did I do with that piece? Dang it. Oh, there it is. Let me take this thing off. Well, it's hard to get it off without that. It sits in there fine with that on there, just a tad bit higher than it is normally. but it sits in there fine. It's not going anywhere. I suggest always keeping at least that one on there when you're not using it to keep any dust and debris from getting down into your motor. But yeah, works really well. Really nice drill. Just a little disappointed about the rhinestones, the way they are damaged, you know, in areas. We'll do a review on this nail drill. Comes pretty well packaged. Just looking to see if it had any particular information on there. I wouldn't need to show you. This is a 35,000 RPM nail drill. Very pretty blue. Get you a manual here. You get a drill bit holder. It will house it, you know, in place on the flat surface when you're not using it. Got your ANBEISTEE. These look like they are fine grit. I like fine grit. I don't typically use those. Now this bit set here does have a couple of coarse grit, coarse, medium, and fine. Usually there's coarse, medium, and fine in there. And you get a couple of other bits. There's a flame bit. This is blue is a medium grit. There's a red round cone. Or, I'm sorry, smooth top. This is a cone. And the red is fine grit. These are usually labeled by the color. Sometimes you'll get one that has a different color than what it is. So you can't always go by the color on this. Just go by the color on the bit itself. And this has a blue one, so it's medium grit. I think green is coarse. Yellow is extra fine. I think there's a black. I think that's extra coarse. There's maybe a few other colors, but I can't remember their names. I mean their colors. Here's your part that plugs up to that. Very pretty base here. And it does have a silicone bottom here around this area here to keep it in place on your surface. And I'm going to test it out and see how it works, how well it works. Give me a second to get this plugged in. I'll be right back. Alright, so this thing is about 5 foot long. Alright, so this, you've got a thing here. This side is for this, for your power. And then this right here is for the other side. Then you plug it in here. Okay, here is your power. And this is not press buttons, so just touch. Let me see if this is open. Well, comes on, but it turns back off. Alright, let me see if I'm doing something wrong. I'll be right back. Alright, so all it was you don't just press it to turn it on and off. You have to hold it down, or you don't press really hard. You just kind of touch it until it turns off. Touch it until it turns on. So it's automatically in forward. So you have forward and reverse for your drill here. Now you do have, this one has a locking kit. Turn it this way, this piece right here. Lock, unlock. Now this is, for all intents and purposes, a placeholder. I don't know the technical term for it, but it is a drill bit. I apologize for my mouth breathing if you hear it. My sinuses are always messed up. They say, we're told to keep this in place when you're not using your drill bit. Whether you do that is up to you, but I always do myself. Sometimes I'll leave a drill bit in it, but I typically always have something in it. Anyways, I'm not going to open this. I think it's hard to get open. I've got one over here. Laying here. I'm just going to use mine. It's the same as what these would be. This one here would be. And a sanding band. So when it's open, just stick it in there. Put it back in lock position. Let's see this. Now this is your forward and down. Just press it to go. If you hold it down, it'll continue to go up. It does have a little bit more vibration than I'm used to, but it's not bad. Now, while this goes up to 35,000 RPMs, it's pretty quiet too. There really is no reason to be doing that unless you're doing specialty stuff or acrylics type stuff. You really wouldn't need to be doing 35,000 RPMs. Though if you need to, this should be able to do pretty much anything. This turns it down. I'm going to start it off at about 10, maybe 12. There isn't a pause button on this, so you just have to turn it off. Oh, I guess there is a pause. So if you do a quick push, it'll pause it. Yeah, so that it doesn't say pause per se, but it's staying on. If you just keep pushing it, or held your finger on it, it would turn it off, and there would be no light. So it does have a pause. Now I'm gonna get I don't have my my one thing out, so I'm just gonna use my trash can here to catch the dust and test this out. Again, I apologize for mouth breathing if you hear it. Like I said, I started off on 12. Now this is showing, I don't know if it'll show differently while you're watching the video, but it's showing a little bit brighter blue than it actually is in real life. This looks almost the same as it does in real life, but this is showing off from my viewfinder when I'm looking into my camera. It looks a little brighter blue, but it's a very pretty blue. Alright, we'll get a nail tip. Hold on. Okay, I got a nail tip here. It's got 3 or 4 layers of gel polish on it, top coat. I switched that out. I'm going to use this one on it. This is a fine flame bit. Alright, we still got it at 12. I'm going to push that on. I am left-handed here. Feels nice, no drag. I'm going to go up to about 20. I don't feel any drag still. It feels really nice. Yeah, feels nice. I'm going to turn it on up to 30. And we'll go ahead and do 35. There's no sense in doing in between. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this. It's really nice. Now I'm going to go down on this. Oh, another thing I meant to tell you is when you're switching between forward and reverse, some manuals will tell you to and some won't. You should turn this down to 0 if you can. There are some drills that don't allow you to. Turn it down to 0. It is very hard on your motors to switch forward to reverse or reverse back to forward. At the higher RPMs, you can do it, but it's hard on your motor, and it will cause it to not last as long. So to keep your motor and for it to keep stay good a long time, you should do everything you can to maintain it properly. So if you can, always turn that all the way down. Pausing's not going to help it that much either, because you're still gonna, when you unpause it, it's going to immediately fly off at that high RPM. And it's no different than just switching it. So it went to reverse. And I do this to see if there's any difference. I have seen drills that didn't work as well on one way as they do the other. I don't see any difference. We're just going to go ahead and go up to 35. Yeah, really nice. This is really nice nail drill. Really nice nail drill. Now this nail drill, this is really nice nail drill. There's nothing wrong with it. It has the torque to put out everything that it says it has. Nothing wrong with it. No drag. It shouldn't be easily slowed down, or if you get one that's easily slowed down when you're pressing or even stopped, that's bad. That's not a good nail drill. This one's really nice. I don't see anything wrong with it. Overall, really good. I do recommend. Hope this helped you.
And we will put this bit on. So you just pop it in the end and then turn, and it's locked. So I'm going to test it out. Get my dust collector out here. Put that on low. Okay, so now we'll turn the drill back on. You can hear this drill is really quiet. I'm going to put it at 15,000 RPMs. And I'm going to take a look at how well this drills. I've got to trim down some of these nails because they've gotten kind of long. So let's see. So this might not be the bit for this. Probably need to increase the RPMs. But if you're new to nail drills, I would recommend lower RPMs so you don't take off too much at one time, because it's real easy to do. Yeah, there, this angle, it seems to be working better than the angle that I was trying it on. So you can see it's removing the material and shortening this nail. And again, this is just at 15,000 RPMs. But so far this seems like a really nice little drill. So if you're in the market for a nail drill, this one's really nice.
I love everything about this drill. Not only is it pink and girly with green for days, it comes equipped with things that no other drill I've has had so far. This is the drill pin is easy to assemble. It works very well. It's lightweight, considering, well, let's just say it's compact, so it's easy to put and put it where you need to put it. It doesn't take up a lot of space on the desk, because I got a lot of stuff everywhere. But it's easy to operate. Just turn it on, and this is actually charging. You can actually, the coolest part about this is like you can use the USB. It has two USB ports back here for if you need to charge your phone, your tablet, whatever you're using. You can actually charge it while you're still working with the drill. And this is the light that's plugged in. The UV nail drying light is plugged in there. I absolutely think this is such a great find and a great buy. It doesn't break the bank, but it's also so stinking cute. And it's not, it's very easy to operate. And that's on one. And I have the drill pen in my hand. It works very well. It's up to 35,000, or is it 100? I'm sorry, turning it up super good. That's on its highest. I'm sorry, it's upside down. Let me just turn it around. Such a great find. And with those reverse. And reverse. Or forward. And that's on the highest, and it's very quiet and discreet. And even as you're turning it down, it goes all the way back down to 1 or 0, which is nothing, no power at all. And 1 is to give you a little something. You have the pause button here. You have the whole power button here. You just press and hold. I'm sorry. Press it. I'm so sorry. Am I pressing? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm pressing the forward button. And you press and hold, and it shuts it off. And what's even cool is when you're finished, simple storage. No external storage needed. You just store it right inside the machine itself, and it comes with the places to put at least 5 drill bits that you use. And again, I think this is a great find. And I can say, though, with all honesty, the sticky adhesive around the blingy diamond adhesive can be a little sticky around the sides, but as it's been sitting on my desk, it's getting less and less sticky. I think it's a really cool and really cute find for anyone that's girly girl and all about the aesthetics like myself. This is just like really, I love it. I love it. I mean, I can't say anything else about it. I love it. I think it's very affordable. So it's great for beginners or for intermediate users. I highly recommend it.
À première vue, on pourrait croire que cette ponceuse fonctionne sur secteur. Mais en fait, non. En fait, elle a une batterie intégrée et elle est en train de se recharger. D'ailleurs, on va la débrancher. Voilà. Il y a une petite icône qui permet de savoir ce qu'il reste de batterie. Alors, le stylo, il est tout en aluminium. C'est de la belle qualité. Hein. Voilà, la boîte, bon, ouais, c'est un peu, j'imagine que c'est de l'ABS, mais il y a du strass partout autour. Bon, j'ai laissé le petit plastique de protection parce que je vais l'offrir. Hein. C'est pas pour moi, j'ai arrêté le rouge à ongles depuis très longtemps. Alors, on a 2 boutons. Il y en a un qui est play et pause. Voilà. Il y a même 3 boutons. Il y a 2 boutons et une molette. Là, c'est pour le sens de rotation. On appuie dessus, ça change le sens de rotation. Il y a R et F. Voilà. Là, on appuie dessus, on reste en pause. On peut même le mettre là. Il y a un orifice au fond de l'emplacement pour le stylo là qui permet de ne pas retirer les embouts. Alors pour placer les embouts, c'est pas compliqué. Hein. On fait ça, on tourne et on tire. Voilà. Pareil dans l'autre sens, ça tient très bien. Alors les vitesses, ça va de 35 000. Bon, 35 000, c'est bien. Hein. 35 000, c'est pas mal. Hein. C'est même très rapide. Hein. On peut aller beaucoup plus doucement. Et on peut régler par incrément de 1000 tours minute jusqu'à 0. 1000 tours minute. Assez lent, mais pour les travaux, pour être super précis, c'est pas mal. Voilà. Hop, je vais l'arrêter. On est sur pause. Oh là, on n'est plus sur pause. On est sur pause. Alors, il y a une autre petite surprise, c'est que on a 2 ports USB. On peut recharger son smartphone, pourquoi pas. Voilà, bon, il fait son poids, hein, la boîte fait son poids. Voilà, les strass ont l'air bien posés, bien solides. Bon, c'est assez joli. Hein. Voilà, si on aime le rose et les trucs un peu Barbie, super joli. En tout cas, au niveau qualité, c'est franchement bien. On a aussi la petite boîte avec des abrasifs hein, pour placer là-dessus. Là, il y a 5 ou 6 abrasifs. Voilà, moi je trouve que c'est de la bonne qualité. Voilà, voilà.
Alors nous voici avec une petite machine à polir les ongles, complètement autonome, fonctionne sur batterie, et ça c'est super pratique par rapport à la mobilité qu'on peut avoir avec ce type d'appareil, que je maîtrise totalement. Donc ici on va trouver les petits kits d'instruments supplémentaires, l'utilisation est très simple. Au niveau du branchement, on branche la poignée, hop, ici, a priori on va pouvoir recharger des téléphones. À voir si c'est pratique ou pas. L'utilisation, on va hop mettre en mode jour et je vais pouvoir mettre le petit ustensile que je souhaite. Je referme et voilà, c'est fixé. Mise en route ultra simple, j'appuie sur le bouton, hop, ici, marche arrêt. On laisse le doigt plié, hop. Et on va pouvoir régler l'intensité, enfin la vitesse surtout. Alors, écoutez, c'est super silencieux. Même à grande vitesse, le bruit est vraiment impressionnant, tellement c'est silencieux. Alors, on va trouver sur le petit écran le bouton de la batterie récente, ça c'est pratique. Et puis on va trouver, voilà, l'intensité pour arrêter. Hop. Alors là, on met pause, ce qui permet de poser, faire autre chose, je reprends, je rappuie. Voilà. Petit, maniable, sans fil, fonctionne, parfaitement fonctionnel. Après le côté girly, bon, voilà, pourquoi pas. Les finitions sont peut-être un petit peu perfectibles, surtout à l'arrière, là où ça se voit pas. Mais sinon, voilà. fonctionne parfaitement.
I wanted to do a quick review of this nail drill or nail polisher. So this is the device. It's kind of lightweight, but it's very pretty. I do like the handle, the crystal look. It does have the case to sit in. There is the nail drill. To open it, you just simply turn it, but you have to click it all the way, and then you can pull that out, put in the drill bit, and then it's locked into place. This is touchscreen, so you just touch it, it's on, turn it to your desired power, and then my nail's kind of rough, so then you can go ahead and file away. Turn it off, you just go back down to 0 or turn the power off. This goes left to right. But there it is. This is nice weighted. This feels really good. This is very light, so I'd be very afraid if you dropped it or anything. But it does also come with some sandpapers, and it comes with 5 different drill bits, along with the one you put the sandpaper on. So there it is.
Entonces, aquí ahí está encendido, todo bien conectado. Entonces, está cerrado incluso porque pueden ver que está cerrado, porque si lo abro se sube un poquito y cuando lo cierro se cierra. Sí. Entonces, enciendo el torno y a la mínima que hago un pase, se para. O sea, ya no funciona y se escucha el ruido igualmente que estuviera funcionando. Y ahora lo separo y funciona. Lo vuelvo a parar y por más ligeramente que lo haga, se para. Y la máquina sigue funcionando. O sea, que no da error ni nada. No es nada de la máquina, es el lápiz en sí. Para. ¿Ves? Y por más que haga menos presión, no funciona.
Es hermoso, funcional. Está muy cómodo.
Estas imágenes en mi vídeo casero de lasañas.
Ce que je viens de recevoir, oh là là, oh là là.
Bien.